Hello there, my name's Helen and welcome to the Corner Plot. I'm just going to show you a very quick fabric haul which incorporates a trip to Birmingham Rag Market last week and a trip to a reenactors market this week. And then I'll sort of talk through the different projects that I might do with these things. So first off, the Bullring Rag Market, which is absolutely brilliant for anyone who's in the region. So it's a bit of a day trip, but I went there with a friend last week and I've got a couple of different materials. So I've got this, which is a lovely cotton with this embroidered pattern on, which I think would be quite nice for maybe summer dresses. So this will be the dress, and then I can make a shirt, matching shirt with the top bit. And I've got that in two colours. I've got it in this grey colour and also in a lovely blue colour, like so. So I've got quite a lot of meterage of this because it's not very expensive. The Bullring is a great place to get the rag market, Bullring Rag Market is a great place to get relatively inexpensive but quite nice materials. So I think this was like £5 a metre, something like that. And it's got lovely little sticky sequins and stuff on with all this machine embroidery at the bottom. So I've got those two, which, as I say, I'll probably make some nice summer dresses out of. Lovely floaty cotton, and I've got 8 meters of one and like 6 meters of the other. I don't know which is which. And there's a wonderful store there that has these very bright, very colourful, really completely out of my comfort zone fabrics, but I really love the way they look. They're not the sort of thing I normally wear at all. Any of you who actually know me, and if you look back at the stuff that I actually make, that's not the sort of thing I wear on a usual day-to-day. But I just look at this print. How gorgeous is that? It's got green, which is my favourite colour, and little white spots and orange, and then the dark brown, and then this symbol, which is, I'm told, doesn't actually have a meaning, it's just a pretty picture. But this is 100% cotton, and I've got 6 yards of this and 2 yards of this, which I love because I think those two together will go really nicely, because this will sort of tone this down a little bit, possibly. But that, I've never worn anything that bright before. This is even a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I fell in love, so I had to have it. So I've got 6 yards of that and 2 or 3 yards of this. I think it's 3 yards. So I'm thinking maybe shirt or dress with the green as the dress, or the main amount of material, and then this as the shirt, or maybe like a bolero jacket over the top or something like that. It's quite a nice thickness. It's kind of like a really good quality shirt cotton. So those I loved. And then I kept looking and I found so many that I just fell in love with, but I knew full well I would never have worn anything made from it, because it's so out of my comfort zone. But then I found this. It's such gorgeous red ochre sort of brown colours, and again I've got 6 meters of this, 6 yards of this, because it's all in yards. It's got this lovely shell design on it. So again, I'm really going to have to do something that makes that does this material justice, because look at the pretty, oh, got the stickers on there, sorry. Look at the pretty. So I'm going to have to do something really that brings this to life. And again, I've got 6 yards of that. So I might start with the darker colours and just sort of move on from there, as I say, get more comfortable. Those are the materials that I bought from the Bullring last week. This week I've been down to a reenactors fair, as I say, and I have purchased a nice unbleached linen. I've just got a couple of meters of this because my partner wants a sort of traditional Polish shirt design, which I will see if I can find a photo of what I want to do and put it here so that you can see what I'm planning to do, but that will be its own video. And we did try and look for sort of trim that he might want on there, but actually he wants it quite plain. He's bought himself a nice belt to go around it. It's sort of like a shirt tunic thing that's quite loosely fitted, and then you just put a belt round it. That's that. And that is 2 meters. That was £12 a metre because it's linen. And linen does tend to be quite pricey. That's not a bad price for linen, but it can be quite pricey. I've also got this wool. So I've got 3 meters of this wool. It's so soft and so... So I'm actually going to probably make just a blanket out of this just for the bed, because I quite like getting snuggled, particularly in winter, under several blankets. So that's going to be my bed blanket, and then of course in the summer or whatever I'll use it as a throw, or it'll get packed away and then used in the cold weather. So there's that. They had some lovely blankets that I was very tempted by, and then I saw that on a roll and I just thought, well, I fell in love with that, so I thought, well, I'll just get that and make my own blanket. I specifically went to the Reenactors Fair looking for linen, and I found this linen, which was only £5 a metre. It's got all different colours all throughout the roll, so it just sort of, the pattern just sort of changes, and it's got all of these greens and blues and so many lovely colours throughout it that and it feels so nice. It just feels so nice. So I had to get this. And I think I basically said, give me everything you have on the roll, and this was 5.5 meters, just a tiny smidge over 5.5 meters that they had left. So this, I want to start experimenting with having linen under things, so that first layer against the skin. So I think this would be quite nice. It's an Irish linen. It's got the tag on it somewhere. Baird McNutt, weavers of Irish linen. There you go. And not much else information wise on there, but it's just so beautiful. I fell in love with it. I just kept coming back to that one. They had a lot of different fabrics, just linen, as well as all of the wool and everything. I just kept coming back to that one. There were a few others, but I did show restraint. But I kept coming back to that one, so that one had to happen. And one thing I was looking for specifically was just plain white linen. And I was originally planning to buy 10 meters of a plain white linen, bleached linen. But in the end, because I found that other one, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to get 5 meters, because this was £9 a metre. Again, good price for linen. This was £9 a metre, and I just thought, well, I went with a certain amount of money and a certain idea of what I wanted, and I didn't want to come away with thinking that maybe I'd spent a bit more than I wanted to. And we are now in the season of reenactors fairs a little bit, So there should be another one relatively soon. And the same Reenactors Fair is actually happening again in November, which I'm really looking forward to because it was so good this time. This was the best Reenactors Fair I've been to in years. And the last thing that I've purchased, which was actually the first piece of material that I saw and wanted and fell in love with, is this beautiful green wool. Look at that. Look at the beautiful. How gorgeous is this? It's just, this is like my favourite kind of colour, this sort of almost khaki green. And it's got so many different colours in it. I love that. I love something that from a distance looks nice, of course, but then the closer you look at it, the more you see. I really love that. It's one of the reasons why I love dunnocks as a bird, because they're so boring if you just look at them and glance at them. They're just a little brown bird. But the closer you look, you see those greys of the chest feathers and the speckled colour of the back, and you know, the way they behave, and being so similar to robins, but they're not a robin. I just like things that the closer you look, the more you fall in love with, and this I really fell in love with. So this one again, I just took everything they had on the roll. They had 2 rolls, so I could have had more if I wanted to, but I left that for someone else. This is 5.5 meters of this. So I think that, given that I didn't know really what I wanted to make from it, I think that's quite an acceptable amount, because that's quite a usable amount for whatever project. What I will probably want to do with this is make a skirt and waistcoat and possibly jacket, and I will probably line this with a linen or a cotton or something I've got, just because I think it will need it. So, but this is the wool that I've got. I'm so chuffed with the haul. That's my fabric haul, and I've got a little box of goodies, a bag of goodies as well. I've got some gingerbread mix. That there was this place that had sort of 18th century gingerbread, and it was so nice, and I really wanted to get some for my mum, but she's actually self-isolating at the moment because she's got an operation coming up, so I couldn't really get her the gingerbread because it'll just go stale. So I bought the gingerbread mix so that I can make it for her as and when she has come out of her operation and I can see her again. So that's the idea behind that. If it lasts, I might give in to temptation and make it myself, but no, I should be good. Oh, this is something for my friend, which I can't show you because she watches these, so that's going to go to her. Send that in the post. This was actually the first thing I bought. So this is a lovely, just, I don't know, I think it was finger loop braided or something that the woman said. Of course, I could have made it myself, but it was only £3, and I thought, well, why not? And I thought, actually, looking at the colours, that might go quite nicely with that. What do you think? Does that clash a little? Who knows? I thought it might go nicely, so I bought it. So I shall see whether that goes well enough with that to do something with it. Got some random salt, smoked Welsh black garlic chili salt, because why not? These Reenactors Fair, they have so many things, and if you're not very careful you end up spending an awful lot of money, which I was careful and I still spent a lot of money. And then I decided to get myself some propolis and honey soap and some honey and beeswax soap, because they smell and look nice, so why not? And that's that's the bit that the gingerbread came in, that was eaten. And this is I think the last item. It's a lovely, look at that, it's a beaker. How gorgeous is that? This lovely mug, and it's just big enough to really get your hands round and sort of warm your hands against. So I just really like the shape and the colour of it and all of that. The patina? I don't know. And it's glazed on the inside, so I can use it for teas and hot chocolates and whatever, but it just feels really nice in the hand, so I thought I'd get that as well. Well, actually, Alek bought that for me. I bought one himself as well, so now we've got the matching. And that's it. That is my haul for 2 weekends worth of raiding. And those are the next few sewing projects. Now, I've been doing a lot of sewing projects over the winter because, of course, there's not been very much going on with the allotment. Now that the weather is starting to pick up, I'm going to be spending more time down the allotment, so you may not see so much of me sewing because I won't really have as much time in which to do it. But I did want to start making myself some more summery clothing. I want to make more shirts and tops and things like that, as well as a couple more skirts. I basically need something, you know, everything all round. So hence the massive amount of material that I have, in addition to the other stuff that I've got. So at some point I will be making all of this into hopefully a few pretty things. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching and subscribing if you have, or considering it if you haven't. At some point in this coming year, I hope to actually complete all of these projects, make myself my summery dresses, make my stuff for Alek. I probably won't film making the blanket because it's literally going to be a rectangle of fabric edged with something or finished in some way. But everything else I will try at least to do some filming and show you my mistakes and my triumphs, if there are any. And I'm actually really looking forward to working with linen and making myself some sort of shirts and lovely underclothing with this, because it really is a beautiful fabric. Okay, goodbye for now.